Hi, everybody. It's Renee Cormier from the Fractional Referral Network. Today, I have our FRN member, Amit Prakash, who is leading digital transformation for the oil and gas sector in the US, I suppose. Maybe other places. So we'll have to find out. So today, we're going to have a few questions for Amit. We're going to ask him a little bit about his business and his life and get this is an opportunity for fractional professionals to get to know what Amit does, and if there's an opportunity to connect and do things together, you will have some sense of who he is. So welcome aboard, Amit.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you. Good.
Tell us a little bit more about what you sorry, about what you do and what kind of work you do as a fractional.
Sure. Renee, so thank you for the opportunity, first thing. Um, so I have spent over 2 decades in the industry now. I'm a petroleum engineer. I started in the industry, and I have been connected into the energy and manufacturing industry post MBA as a consultant for a long, long time now. And I've been working on traditional employment roles for about 18, 19 years and decided to just go on my own about a year and a half ago. So I have kind of started finding my foot. I've been providing some advice to my clients in both the energy and manufacturing space for a while. Now I've got about 4 companies where I am a board advisor and a couple of companies where I'm doing part-time roles as the CTO slash chief architect advisor role. Um, I'm looking forward to doing a lot more for my industry folks, the people I have been associated with for over 2 decades. My primary work focuses on digital transformation, which started from the industry. So the difference that I bring in here is come in from the business perspective and then find the value levers and then get to technology at the bottom. So my approach is very business focused. I sell on business outcomes and solutions which are driven by technology, but always focused on improving the business for my clients.
Okay, so what made you decide to go fractional instead of pursuing a regular employment?
Um, as a fractional, I think the amount of difference we can bring to the industry is a lot more. When we are involved with quite a few companies at one point in time, you could help a few smaller companies scale up. You could help some companies find their mark in the industry, and that way you bring improvement at a much larger scale than a traditional employment. I know traditional employment is much more secure. It's an easy life, but there I think you are a part of a larger team, and the amount of contribution you can individually bring in is limited, especially when it comes to making business improvements and seeing the market changes in your client. So I decided to just go on my own. This is a much more adventurous and lively way of living, I guess, is the best way
Yes,
to put it. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I like the autonomy. I like being able to um, bring in expertise. It's a different kind of relationship, isn't it? You know,
Yeah, you connect on a person-to-person basis. I think at the end of the day, in the industry, people buy from people, people sell to people. Technology is only a means, it's not the end. So when you are on your own, you're talking to the CXOs, the CIOs, the CTOs of these large companies or small companies. You bring in that extra job satisfaction for yourself. You see the differences that you bring into the client's business. You see a happy client. You see a client successful because of your efforts, your inputs, and that is much more satisfying and a much more adventurous way of living. So I love it the way it is.
yeah, me too. So what do you love the most about working this way?
Um, the independence, I think, is great. The number of problems you get to solve. I think the one primary reason why I joined consulting in the first place was that you get to solve a new problem at every program that you do, right? So every customer you go to, it's like a new job. You meet new people, you solve new problems, you find much more innovative ways of doing the same thing with much more efficiencies. So as a fractional, this goes, a little more maybe a few steps ahead of the consulting job I used to do. Now I
Right.
get to see new problems on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. Previously, it was maybe a few months at one place and then another place for a few more months. Out here now with a fractional role, I'm able to do much more on a much regular basis. So I think the excitement of solving problems and solving too many problems at the same time is keeping me going.
Okay, good. So what's one challenge you're working through right now?
Um, I think the couple of things, right? One is the expert paradox, for example, right, wherein your customers are insecure about their job.
Yeah.
Uh, if you are now infusing AI into their processes, they are sort of not very acceptable to it because they believe this might just replace them in the longer run. So you need to deal with the expert paradox on a regular basis. Your customers are insecure, trying to still cement their place and keep technology away.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and while, the story is that we are actually making their job easier, and we are trying to find a multi-state agent process which is supervised by humans, so the humans get to collaborate with these AI agents and
Mm-hmm.
make their job and much more strategic, much more efficient
Right.
on a regular basis. So they could focus on the larger piece, the larger picture, while these agents do the day to day. But I'm not seeing that happen. So that's one big challenge I face when I bring in AI into the conversations.
Right.
Some of the engineers are not as happy as the owners are.
Right.
Um, but
Yeah.
I think that part is there, and then I think the other part is the way the technology has to be brought in. So currently, the ask of the industry is to reduce OpEx,
Yeah.
operational expenses, and optimize CapEx. Although a lot of these technologies do bring in a lot of CapEx upfront. So we need to kind of optimize that whole go-to-market so that my customers can actually make the best use of technology, but do not have to do a huge capital outlay upfront, right? So we have to find ways of what works for every company is slightly different, but we need to bring that flexibility into these investments.
So here's a question that's not on my little list of questions, but I'm curious because you're working in the oil and gas industry. You've got a lot of upheaval going on internationally. Do you see this as an opportunity or a threat? I'd like to think it's an opportunity.
Um, yeah, it's an opportunity. The problem in oil and gas industry is that once you are in it, it's like sunk cost. So once you are in something, it's very hard to get out of it. Um, so you need to, yeah, I mean, if you are, drilling a well, for example, you've spent like
Yes.
$5 million on it, you
Yeah,
don't
you don't really
find,
want to turn your back on that.
yeah. So, that's sunk cost. So we need to do a lot of work upfront
Yeah.
to make sure. And depending on where you are, operating, it's different with respect to the concessions you get by the government, the compliance requirements you have over there, the costs that you have, the labor costs, the technology cost is different across the world. In the US, it's very costly compared to, any part in the East, for example. So we need to really be flexible with that.
Okay. And Amit, tell me, what's one piece of advice that you'd give to somebody who's just starting out as a fractional? What have you learned along the way?
Um, I think a couple of things. One is be very patient.
Yeah.
Things happen over time. Um, Even if you are the best expert, it will not happen overnight. That's the biggest learning I've had. The second thing is, I think, just go through the journey like it's a learning experience for you as well. Um, do not do not pretend to know everything. Try to
Yes.
learn as you go along. Because the best way is to be a learner all your life. And while you're learning, you're also doing a lot of work and contributing actively to the society, to the industry. So just have that sort of a giver mindset and always try to learn. Things will happen. Just be patient. Eventually, you will make it.
Yes. Yeah. Now, you were telling me earlier that you just wrote a book. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Um, yeah, so I think the what prompted me to write that book was that when I go around, and I worked with almost all the top companies of the world that are leading in technology. So when I see everything that's going on in the industry today, I think there is existing technology so we can actually make our oil field operations in offshore, especially fully autonomous, right? We don't need any human to be there for 24 by 7 like we currently do.
Right.
Um, but due to certain ways of understanding or lack of understanding of technology and the way to implement technology, we are still struggling with how to use it and how to bring digital twins and how to make this an asset which is giving us active revenues. I think we are not able to achieve fully autonomous operations because of certain process deficiencies and some change management deficiencies that we have, and potentially insecurities about architecture and cybersecurity. So I wrote that book so we could create a well-laid roadmap for companies to take this 5-year journey from today, 2026, early 2026 to 2030 and achieve that fully autonomous operations
And what's
setup.
the name of your book? And can you get it on Amazon?
It is on Amazon. It's
Just want to give
from
you a plug here. Go ahead.
Yeah, the book is from digital oil fields to fully autonomous operations.
Okay. Do you have a copy
That's
of it that
what
you
the
can
book.
show? Do you have a
Sorry?
copy? Just do you have a copy a hard copy that you can show us?
Uh, Absolutely.
There you
Right.
go. Put it
It's
up.
I
So it's
no.
your back screen is ruining it. There. Okay. There you go.
Can I get it now?
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yep. There we go. Got it.
Yeah, it's a short book, not very long, about 90 plus pages. It has got
Perfect.
hardcover, it has got paperback, it is on Kindle as well. So as
Good.
you please, you can go and take a peek at it. Let me know. I will let the readers take some discounts if they reach out. If they are willing to buy, I'll probably give them some code
Great.
temporarily as well. So
Well, a book on your subject matter expertise is a great marketing piece of marketing material. So it's a good thing to have. But
I think
it takes
important
a
to
lot to promote. If you want to be go the
thank
author
you.
speaker route, there's a lot of hard work there. But if you like it as a lead magnet, as a way of showing credibility, give a copy to your prospects when you go in for meetings. It's fabulous for that.
I have and just because this is the time, I have one more coming. So this one is technology. The other one is the change management piece on how to collaborate with technology and humans
Good.
and achieve the end state. So this one is, see, the first of the series. The second one is coming probably in the
Perfect.
next 2 months. Yeah. So
Good. Good for you. Excellent. I love that. All right. So tell me, what is one recent aha moment that you had about business or life? What sort of thing kind of have you been thinking about and think, yeah,
I
this
keep
is
having
it.
those.
You
I
always have
keep
an
having
aha
those aha
moment.
moments all the
Good.
time.
What's
Life is
what's
such a
one you'd
learning
like to
experience.
share?
Yeah. No, I think one thing that I learned while I was writing the book, frankly, was there is when you start thinking about uh, anything in general, right? We'll just live our life pretty much blindfolded.
Yeah.
So when you start, just thinking about who am I, what is my goal in life, etc., etc. Some, questions that you never think about, but you really discover a lot about your own self and your own
Yes.
goals and your own thought process. So I think that aha moment came when I was writing the book about how much advice I've given to my clients without really understanding their perspective of that human aspect, right? So how does all of this tie into what they're actually already doing, what they have already invested in? So a lot of these considerations have to be brought in. So I think in general, life has to be understood in totality. We all have a very convoluted view, very partial, very biased view. So one thing I've really learned is start imbibing others' perspectives and current state of mind and situation before giving them advice. So I
Yeah.
think writing this book has made me a much better advisor than I used to be. So,
Okay, good.
yeah.
Good. Yeah, yeah, because everything starts with empathy, right?
Um,
It's exactly what you said. Everybody has their own filter, their own perspective, and those are the things that affect decisions that move things forward. If you, yeah, nobody wants to be told what to do. They want to be coaxed.
I get
Yeah.
it.
All right. So that's it. I don't have, this is the end of our interview. See, I told you it'd be very short and sweet.
Sweet. Yeah,
So,
very, very,
I'm
very.
gonna end the recording now. We can chat for a minute after if you like. Okay, everybody, thank you so
Yeah.
much. You can find Amit Prakash on LinkedIn and in the Fractional Referral Network. Have a fabulous day.
Thank you. Thank you, Renee. Thanks, everyone.